My first guest tonight is former chairman of the Republican National Lawyers Association, Randy Evans. Randy, good to have you here. There has never been, in my memory, an instance in which a White House is being leaked against like this one. It is, to say the least, disturbing. It could also be undermining our national security, could it not?
It absolutely could, but Lou, let me take you back a little bit in time to 1995 after the Republicans took over the Congress. I remember when Speaker Gingrich took over, and the first onslaught was just vicious ethics attack after ethics attack, along with leaks from every part of the Capitol, and it was because we had not been there for 4 decades. That's what happens is they fill them up with their own people, and then when somebody else comes in, they try to destroy them with both ethics charges as well as frivolous and meritless ethics charges, as well as leaks. And the difference is these leaks can be extremely dangerous to our national security, dangerous to us here at home, and dangerous to the economy.
You know, and why in the world are they being permitted? Now, one understands that this president has been in office less than a month. But we have to have a national security apparatus that is absolutely leak-proof. The president has to have absolute assurance that when he speaks with world leaders and with our military and intelligence and other agencies, that there is absolute confidence that those words are secret and exchange and confidence will remain so.
Well, and you have to weigh the 2 different parts of the problem. One is what I call the J. Edgar Hoover problem, which is you've literally got people who are enemies of the president, who are in positions of power to try to undermine his trust, undermine his credibility, and they're willing to do it. We have to find them, root them out, and get them out of there. Then you have the other ones, which are just literally people who...
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Randy. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead, Lou. You're with me on the J. Edgar Hoover. You knew how dangerous that was, and I think we have a little bit of that going on right here, right now. I think there are people in the intelligence community who hate Donald Trump. They're committed to doing what they can, and they've got to be found and rooted out.
And I know you don't mean to imply acceptance when you describe what happened in 1995 or what is happening now of what is an obvious effort, and you said so, to destroy this president to destroy the Speaker of the House in '95. But the fact is, the American people should not have to, under any circumstance, tolerate politics of destruction. And it's interesting what would happen if Donald Trump, as president, said, and we're going to destroy these leakers and the political organizations behind them and those organizations with which they're aligned.
No, I completely agree. You have to be like Speaker Newt Gingrich and like President Donald Trump. You have to say, it's going to be 100 days. You're not going to stop us. You're not going to slow us down. There may be occasional distractions that you throw our way, but every day we're going to move forward with another executive order, with another piece of legislation that's signed into place, with another regulation that's been overruled. Right. Notice that a day doesn't go by, Lou, that one of those things doesn't happen. And it's going to continue day after day.
I also notice here we are on Valentine's Day, and there has been chaos in this White House from day one. Now, there comes a point where we're talking about the administration of government and this White House. I want to get your view first on who do you think is leaking in this instance, whether it be intelligence, whether it be the FBI, whether it be the White House itself.
Well, I think you've got a fair number of new people who feel very important and like to consider themselves important. You've heard me say before, generally speaking, the people who know the most say the least, and the people who know the least say the most. The problem is those who know the least are talking the most, and they're like to see their names in the newspaper. So on this Valentine's Day, they're out there and they're trying to impress their relatives and impress the media and make themselves look good.
Randy, you make that sound very benign. And by the way, those people who know the most must be reassured by your aphorism. The fact of the matter is, we were talking about transcripts of General Flynn's conversation with the Russian ambassador. I don't know of a circumstance in which that's ever occurred before. And general media types, left-wing media principally, are being treated to a good read of same and stories that ensue. This looks like a very serious thing, I think, to most Americans, and I think they're right.
I do too, and I think you're going to see what's called the blue dye test, which is literally a way in which we can identify the leakers, we can segregate them aside, and we can put them in jail. You're going to see the most sophisticated process now implemented and underway, which is specifically designed to feed misinformation to leakers, let them leak it, but because it's misinformation, we're able to identify them and to capture them.
What is your sense? This White House, compare it to others very quickly. We're out of time, but Reince Priebus, we saw the Chris Ruddy, a friend of the president's, talking about how he was over his head. He didn't leak that. He said that to the Washington Post. He said it to CNN. Then within a matter of hours, a recant, and Priebus is doing just boffo, according to the president. We're looking at some really strange machinations coming out of this White House right now, and a very serious leak problem, and a very serious problem with the way in which the White House is being administered.
Well, I think part of that is because you literally have a brand new cast of characters all thrown together and put on stage immediately without any opportunity to really get to know each other. I think over time that'll start to settle down. But I do want to say this, Lou. Happy Valentine's Day. And since I'm with you and not my wife, I want to say, Linda, happy Valentine's Day. Thanks for the tie.
You're more than welcome. But if you think I'm going to let you get off with a happy Valentine's Day to your wife and me and then just say thanks for being with us and we'll see you soon, you're exactly right. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it, Randy.